down through the whole agenda and planning out the sessions. I just loved that. That was all part of the experience of it for me. You know, whenever the agenda appeared on the site, I was like, oh, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. And then it was like, oh no, conflict. Oh dear, what will I do? Who will I go to? So then that's where I made out that Google Doc that's on there. And I basically highlighted, right, that's definitely a priority 1, priority 2. And on I went. And I literally went down through the Google Teaching Theatre, put them all in, put everything in, because I figured that's going to be base camp. And then I went down through what Canopy were offering. I went down through there. Then I went down through Text Help and everything that Text Help were doing, putting it on. And then I had another column to the side. Is it on multiple days? Because if it was on the Wednesday and the Thursday, okay, that's a 2-day one. So I might be able to catch that day too. So it's a military operation. If you really want to, you have to plan it. But what I'd say is that you are going to miss things. Like, even as much as you plan, you're still going to have that sense of FOMO for sure, even though you're there. So
even if you're able to bring a colleague from your school, if there's able to be more than one of you, like that was useful for me and Bernard, to divide and conquer, as he said, like, because there's always going to be a clash of something that you want to see. And also you get caught up having a chat, you know, you get caught up chatting to people and then miss something.
So this is for newbies. Basically the way I got there was I went Belfast City to London City Airport, and it is on the doorstep. The Excel Centre is on the actual doorstep. You can walk to it. I looked at the walk and I looked at the directions and I thought, no, I won't chance it. And then I went down on the DLR. Is that what it's called, Nicole? DLR, yeah. So, and it was so handy. Literally, see that first picture when you walk out of the like, this airport is smaller than Belfast City Airport. You just walk out through the gate and there's nowhere else to go apart from onto the main street or up on to get the trains, really. So then I went and I used my phone to pay for it. And they did check on the trains and everything, you know, that I had paid. So on I went to just scan that. I didn't even get Oyster cards or any of that sort of palaver. Just used my phone, scanned there, up that escalator in the first steps, and it brings you on the platform and you go onto the train. And then you go to a place called Canning Town. And then you change from there. So that's the second picture. And it's so well signposted, like you can't miss. Now, okay, saying that, I did miss. I got there. You know the way I ended up on the train, so excited. It was like, and I had my watch out and it's like, I've got this down. I know what I'm doing. And then I jumped on the first train that came. And then I ended up, I was like, I'm heading back to the airport. Oh no. So then I had to jump off the next stop, do a whole big loop back again. But yeah, I got there in the end with plenty of time. But it is so easy. It really is.
Yeah, it was super handy for us as well. From our accommodation, it was one stop on a bus and one stop on the Elizabeth line.
Yeah.
Easy.
That's right.
And then when you get off, it's just right at the centre. So Bernard, what way did you get in?
Basically what Nicole just said, we got one wee quick bus into the, what station was it? Can't remember what the station actually was, but it was very close. We had one kind of stop from the Elizabeth line to the actual XL.
Woolwich Arsenal. Yeah.
Well done, Woolwich Arsenal. So that's where we stayed. So we stayed just across the water of the river, but it was very, very handy.
Yeah.
Like and again, that was because you have to quickly the accommodation nearby it, or as we found out, we can all crash at Abbott's anyway. So there's if you live local, it's handy, but when you get your accommodation, just kind of travel from there. I suppose Bernard and I arrived really early on our first day as really keen beans that had never been to BETT before. So we were super early and it was pretty empty. So we actually had that almost airport experience of, this is a big, huge XL arena, like it's massive. And we were like, oh, we'll go have a wee sit here and this is gorgeous. And then soon, by like getting closer to 10 o'clock when everything was starting, it was hiving. Like there were so many people in there. And so then it got overwhelming. Beforehand, it was manageable.
Yeah.
I would definitely say the first day, really attend the arena event, because that gives us a sense of wonder and awe, and it really made us feel, my goodness, we're in a place of innovation here. We're in a place somewhere special. We're going to be meeting like-minded educators. So I would definitely say make sure you attend. I would attend each morning arena, but definitely go to the first morning, because that was really fantastic. It was a blast.
Yeah. Well, I always found useful as well when I first arrived that there's like a baggage drop-off area. So I was coming with my wee travel case. So they're just down below. If you follow the signs, you can leave your bag in and it's free. And that was great because when you're walking around, you just get so warm and you don't want all the luggage. And then you get all of this great swag. So you need to be hands-free for walking around. So it's brilliant that they have like a baggage drop-off for you as well. So you don't have to go to the hotel or anything. You just get straight in there. So
that's it. That was handy on the way back. We were flying. We had to leave bed early on the Friday to fly back, and again the downstairs luggage area was so much quieter compared to the upstairs one. So like, don't even bother about the upstairs one. Go downstairs and it's nice and breezy. So yeah, some of our highlights. Definitely seeing each other in 3D.
Yeah, I agree. It's all about the people, really. You know what I mean? Part of it is it's the people. When you get there, it's just seeing people that you meet online. And I put Abbott's amazing picture in because have you even been to BETT if you haven't had a selfie with Abbott? I mean, let's face it, that is on everybody's to-do list.
I know, that's our next goal in January is to get a selfie of Abbott. It's happening.
Yeah, and look, Abbott's so friendly when you're there. Like, look at the big beam and smile. He just arrives. He's just kind of arrives behind you, and he's there, and then you're like, oh. And then the picture gets taken. So, but it's amazing. Even though it's so big, you do actually bump into loads of people. Like that photo of us, Nicole. That was just at the end of one day, whenever we were heading home, and there you were. And then I bumped into yourself and Bernard just sitting at one of the sessions, and there I spotted you on the ground with your headphones on, listening, and went over and give you the wee GEG and the wee GEG lanyard thing. Wear that, take the other one off, put that on.
Yeah. And it also just standed out more. It was nicer, the white one. Anyway, there's you rocking it on the.
That was me trying to do the BETT community. So this was a brilliant initiative that Google put together this year. It wasn't there last year when I was on, and you can see there was a whole big program of events. And there were events before it. There were things happening during the actual conference, and then there were evening events as well. The one that I was kind of trying to look after was one during the day, but to be honest, like the feedback I gave to the team was that nobody really wanted to stop in the middle of the day to have coffee with me. Everybody had a plan, everybody was too busy, so that one didn't really work. But I think probably the end of the day ones are far better when everybody's more relaxed. It was better. But you did come, thank you. And also the Corrine Latham from Northern Ireland came as well. So there was loads happening there. And Sammy, hope you don't mind, I stole some of your photos of those evening events. I didn't get to any of the evening ones because, see, the night before going to it, I hardly slept. I was so excited. So it got till about 4 o'clock and I was just done. I had just crashed. But definitely, if I was going again, I would try to stay calm and get to all of those events as well. So they're definitely worth connecting.
I would definitely recommend the Google Teaching Theatre. There were you'd have these kind of like demo slams, which was amazing. So it was like educators sharing with educators, and we tip bits for a minute or two about even things that could make your life easier, in your own work efficiency, but also things you can use in the classroom. So I would definitely make sure you go to that stand.
It was completely my base camp. I mean, whenever I first went in the start of the day, I just went and sat there. And you see the wee stools, you just go and sit down. If I just wanted a wee sit down, if I wanted a coffee, there was always something on and you could just go and chill. Patrick, what was the event that you led in it?
I suppose I had the luxury of doing a panel discussion with Sammy, with Chris, with Carol, and a few more to get me used to the teaching theatre. And then directly after that, then I did inbuilt Chrome OS accessibility feature. So it was good. We'll say I think on the Chromebook, the fact that they're so handy and easy to get at was the big thing from my point of view. But seeing that, I suppose in preparation, I didn't really understand, I suppose, the busyness of BETT as well. So like that, the first day I arrived, I wanted to go to everything, and then I found the teaching theatre as well. So I realised it was quite big.
Yeah. And Olivia, they basically put out a form to allow people to put forward if they wanted to a session at the teaching theatre. So I found it was very inclusive. They give lots of people opportunities to be involved. So maybe next time you'd be up for that, Olivia, would you?
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying in terms of it's good just to be, it's obviously good walking around and, bumping into people, but it is good. I was on the Purple Mash stand, so Too Simple Purple Mash. I'm one of their teacher panelist people, so got to be on it. So, it's just saying, like, it's good to be, like, sort of, like, actually part of it as well as, like, going around as well. And I was just saying, as well as, like, try and connect with people before you go. So, like, if you kind of think people on social media, and then, because it's like, I always think it's like bumping into a celebrity or something when you get to see people are there. You're like, oh my goodness. And like, it's just amazing being with like-minded people the whole time as well. Sometimes different, if you're at your own school, and maybe sometimes I feel like maybe a little island by myself. And then when you go to bed, it's just everybody like understands what you're talking about, and you don't seem like a weirdo anymore sometimes.
It's brilliant. You do feel at home.
I think even like in the run up to it, you see lots of people start posting online. I'm going to BETT. Who's going to BETT? Let's grab a cuppa. Let's grab a coffee. And then I started getting emails going, I see you're at BETT. So, I'll know not to contact you that week. But even finding, whenever you're going through that agenda, the Twitter handles of the people that you're going to go and watch talks of, because then when you're able to tweet about their talk, then at least you're already following them, and it was easier to find, because the Wi-Fi isn't great. So sometimes you need to have that sort of stuff prepped in the background, so that as soon as you get back to your accommodation or back to a bit of 5G or 4G, you can hit send and post.
And you just reminded me, Nicole, about the phone chargers. I mean, honestly, my phone just drained. And then, and I didn't want to have to walk all the way down to my case down in that baggage place down below to get my case out and have to get my charger. So remember your charger. If you can get power banks, bring those. And then I ended up just having my Chromebook and plugging my lead into the Chromebook and sitting in a session with my phone charging off it. So all the things. But see, going to the text help stand, I mean, Sammy is amazing. Shout out to Sammy. Honestly, you have to go there. If you've never been to see Sammy in action, just go. She is amazing. Just the energy coming off there it's incredible. And for all of us Northern Ireland people, you're surrounded by home accents. So it is just lovely to go. And when they hear your accent, immediately, you're like, oh, where are you from? And you get a lovely set of swag, and they give you a lovely cup of coffee, and it's great, because that's the thing. There's places where you can buy coffee all in around, but if you stand for a while at some of the places, you can get free coffee. Where else is there free coffee? At the Canvas stand, I think they had free coffee, and Promethean, I saw some there. Anywhere else?
LFGL as well, didn't they have some?
Yeah.
And
every stand you had something for free.
They had something for you. It's like proper bean to cup. It was amazing. Like, I think Canva were making lattes and everything. The queue was unreal there.
But
it was brilliant to me. Sorry, Nicole.
Speaking of water, find the refillable water station like whenever you first arrive and it's quiet, because when it got busy, could I find it again? And I was like, what door was it at? Where was it? S6, if I remember correctly. So don't buy coffee or water, as I would say.
I know. And that thing about knowing what stand you're at, honestly, I need to get better at studying the floor plan, because there were so many times I had decided I was going to go to a session. I was on my Google Doc at my plan. And then by the time I found the place, I was like, no, my sense of direction was just all over the place. And then I was missing the start of it. So really study the floor plan and take that time even before the start of the day to walk up and down the big main thorough area to look at all of the numbers on the doors, and it'll help you having to clock up too many steps.
But they also have loads of helpers around the arena also to help you if you ever get lost, and there's loads of maps that you can grab at any stage.
And
so don't be frightened to ask the helpers to direct you.
And as you go in every door, they make you scan the wee barcode thing, and then you have to go out. Some of the doors are very funny about one-way systems, but you're just constantly holding this thing up to get scanned. But you get used to it after a while. So then I signed up for this Connect at BETT. This was a new thing that they had done this year. I don't know if they'd done it in previous years. They didn't seem to have it last year. It was it seemed to be a wee bit frustrating at the start. I was thinking, I'm getting all of these emails and getting all of these messages that keep going on at me about this Connect. So then I ended up having a look at it to see if there's anything worthwhile. And I found 2 very worthwhile meetings out of it. And they were the only 2 that I went to. And I'm so glad I did. Basically, I set up a meeting with the Canva team, because in Northern Ireland, a lot of Northern Ireland educators can't get onto that free account. So I saw one of the guys that was sitting there, and he was like the technical lead, and he's called Andy Shaw, and he was so nice. And you know, it was nice to just go to the table to talk to him, because if I was going to the stand of Canva, I mightn't necessarily have found him. He might have been busy with somebody else, but I knew that, okay, he has reserved this time just to talk to me about this issue. And yeah, we've got it all sorted out, and he's sending up follow-up emails. So that was amazing. And then the second meeting that I got was with this guy from Creative Hut. And it's all the follow-on things that I think are really good, because I hadn't really heard of this group before, but then when I went onto their website to see who this person was that was requesting a meeting, I noticed that they're based in Ireland. Patrick, you might have heard of them. They seem to do a lot of STEAM workshops. And then I ended up, there's a connection with a school in Belfast, Claire McGrath, who's Paddy McGrath's wife from Text Help. She has this amazing digital skills hub thing set up, and she's now opening it up to have lots of school groups and things come in. She's doing a lot of community engagement. So I didn't even know about that or that connection, and only because through that Connect meeting they had set up with me. Now I've connected in with Claire McGrath in Belfast, and I'm going to go down and see her, and we're going to do a whole big thing. So it's definitely, I wouldn't write off the Connect at BETT. So if it's running next year, definitely check it out. If there is something and somebody you want to talk to, I would recommend it. And
is there a cost though, Danielle, for some of the meetings?
No, it was all free, and that's a good tip that Olivia said. Set up a separate email, because there is a lot of spam comes for BETT. No, it was free. It was basically a 10-minute meeting. And then I had another meeting unexpected. It was a bit like speed dating. I had another meeting while I was waiting for mine to arrive. The man beside me, his person hadn't arrived and mine hadn't arrived yet. So then I ended up going over and talking to him, and then we exchanged details, and he scanned my card and all the rest of as it goes. So sometimes it is the wee chance encounters. I even met somebody standing in the queue to get a coffee outside of Costa, and it's literally you just meet random people, and I think be ready for the random moments, even though you plan for it all as well. There was no cost for the conference. No. Who's the Rooney? Sorry, forget your first name.
Andrea.
No, there was no cost for it. But as Nicole said, they seemed to kind of close down registration a few weeks before it. So look out for that.
Yeah, there's definitely a cost for businesses to set up the meetings, because I know there's some people here from a business point, for businesses to set up Connect at BETT, but for people to accept meetings, then like Danielle, as you know, coming from just an educator background, then that must be the part that's free. But it's free to attend BETT and go around the actual Excel arena. Speaking of the random moments, this one was a pure fluke, but ended up being one of our highlights of BETT. Was just walking through can't remember if it was N or S, the north or the south side, but anyway, walking through it and bumping into North. There you go, you've got a good memory. To Mark from Education Finland, and oh my goodness, to every single teacher that feels undervalued and underappreciated in this part of the world for being a teacher, Finland are doing it right. And it was just so powerful and so inspiring. Like, I was almost emotional with inspiration about how they do their education over in Finland. And it starts, basically starting from cradle. They're looking after the children from before they're born with their baby boxes. Teachers are respected and trusted from the start, because they're all trained to master's level. Only 10% of teachers even qualify in the first place or get onto the programs to train. And the whole thing is schools being at the heart of the communities, Bernard. That was so powerful.
Yeah, definitely. And with my Senko hat on, I was blown away by their multidisciplinary teams that are actually on site. So like education psychologists, occupational therapists, speech and language therapists, like education psychology comes in every primary school twice a week, so that it's incredible. Now, I think Martin was his name. He did say they've had 50 years on this journey, but they've definitely got an education system to be proud of at the moment.
Yeah, totally. So then, there's so many events. I don't know how you're going to summarize these in the remaining time, Danielle. But
well,
I laughed. We were putting together this presentation, and just this afternoon, it's like, oh, I have to put that in, and then the next thing is just exploded with photos as the thing has gone on, and we could have put on probably another 20 slides of photos, but because there's just so much happening. And what I find, just the photos at the top, I guess it's these sessions with just round tables with incredible thought leaders. I mean, these are people really making huge impacts in their industry, and there they all were for like just somebody like me to go along and sit down and listen to. And honestly, I just got my phone out because I couldn't even keep up with the notes I was trying to take, got my phone out, put it on dictate, and just sat and recorded every single word those people were saying. It was so powerful. It was a brilliant experience. So not only then do you have those kind of round table type talks, but then there's also tech in action. So you have people demoing tools, and then the middle picture at the bottom, you then can go and try out tools. And there's even kids from lots of other schools there trying out the tools. So it's good to see what they think. And then the final one is of me. Then I was doing an Ed puzzle talk. So it is nice to kind of do it, to see it from the other perspective. And you see, people actually stayed and listened to me. And I was looking at them and I was thinking, my God, your time is so valuable in BETT. And they just felt so honoured that people would sit and stay. And so, yeah, it is like, Patrick, you'll know that feeling when you're looking down. And it's definitely, if you get the chance to present, go for that as well. It's just, it really, it's a real honour and a highlight to the BETT experience.
Olivia's actually just said it there, worth trying to get your pupils involved in the kids judge BETT. Although I do not know how you could take a school trip to BETT, because there'd be so much that I want to be like, sorry kids, I want to go here. You might want to go to the esports arenas and do all that. But we did have fun there, of course. I was like, but I want to go here and go there. So definitely bring an army of colleagues if you're going to bring kids so you can all share.
But Nicole definitely put in a wee chat there about there's a digital tote bag that Google for Education actually has summarized the whole event and actually put on live capture videos that you can watch. So definitely, if you haven't seen that link in the chat, definitely go to see that, because it summarizes everything we're trying to do here very quickly.
Yeah. Damien was definitely a highlight from one of the arena sessions. As Bernard said, like, we started every morning off in the arena, and he was a personal highlight for you, B.
He definitely was, because it brought me back to, the psychology of learning, and that's what we're all about, and about keeping things very simple, and basically working from kind of like that place of emotional intelligence, make sure you're regulated before you're educated. So that's my kind of like geekdom. So I thought it was very, very good.
Yeah. He really was, and that actually links into some of the takeaways we're rattling through here in the final minute.
So yeah, so if basically, I mean, what at the end we actually bumped into each other at a few of the sessions, and we were saying, so what are you finding the key themes going forward that you're going to take into your practice, you're going to take back to your schools, and what do you see as basically the key drivers at the minute? And one of the things that I noticed, there was a lot of personalized learning, and it was really powerful to see equity being, it was really powerful to see how technology is really helping the pupils and ensuring personalized learning opportunities. It was incredible to see that. And nearly every single talk I went to, they talked about, and I mentioned this to Sammy, they talked about the power of the text help tools in the classroom with the students, so that they had that level of equitable provision in the classroom in the moment. So that to me was really powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for me, there was themes about making sure that, that we explore education technology for the benefit of pedagogy. So I was kind of reminded that it's kind of overwhelming in terms there was like 30,000 people at this event. There's every type of hardware and software that you could have, and people who may be starting their digitalization journey within schools could be a wee bit overwhelmed about it. But there's one thing that I learned from that was, make sure you celebrate what you currently have and currently use, whatever digital platforms you have, any applications. Take a moment to reflect upon what you're actually using that, and see if that can be exploited any way further in terms of pedagogical use. So if there's anything that, for a quick rule of thumb, about if it allows creativity design and fluidity of thought, critical thinking, collaboration, encourages collaboration, that's all very, very good. So PEDEC, make sure that we're using education technology that actually promotes the learning that we want to actually happen within the rooms, our classrooms.
Yeah, and I like that's the bread and butter for teachers. And I suppose when you start thinking about the technology that's about to come in, there was definitely some of that future tech with AI on show in BETT, but also a lot of it was early doors. It was maybe in beta mode. So like we saw the Ask Arbor for their school management system, how it's going to come into play and how it might be helpful. There was heaps of gamification. So just ways that you can engage children, but again, not losing the fact that you need pedagogy at the core of any technology tool that you're using so that you can have personalized learning opportunities. So it all kind of comes full circle in a way, I suppose. But it's very exciting what is to come for technology, and you get to see that at BETT in 2024 because it's just been released like literally yesterday. Or so here we go. You can sign up now.
Yeah. So the email rolled in there and it was saying, so it's going to be in January next year. So if you're keen to go, that's your dates. But I have already went on, looked at the hotels, trying to see, will I get booked? What will I do? Because you know, in some of the hotels, they allow you to cancel it so many times before for free. So I'm seriously looking at that at the minute. And then days to go next year. This year I went on the Wednesday and the Thursday. I regret not going Thursday, Friday because I missed out on so much of the Google stuff, which actually the schedule came out well after I had booked my flights and everything. But on the Thursday evening, there's a teach meet and I really enjoyed it last year. And then I was raging that I had missed it. So I think next year, if I can only pick one day or if I can pick 2 days, I'll probably go definitely on a Thursday. I think. But you're always taking a chance. I don't know.
I know. I don't know. I would love to go all 3, although I'll be in P7 every Thursday from next year. So I'm like, I wonder if I can do a swap and try go for all 3 days again.
I'm sure they would allow you, Nicole.
Hopefully we switcheroo once, so hopefully wouldn't be too bold.
No, our principal today said if anybody can help supervise study weekends for May and June for our sixth formers and our GCSE, you'll give us a day in lieu. So my first thought you can think was, there's my BETT day sorted out.
yeah, totally. That's unreal. So yeah.
Well, I have to say, I take a moment and be very thankful for my principal to allow me to attend 3 days at BETT. So yeah. Thank you, Gillian.
So thank you, everybody. And just a final wee shout out for some upcoming events if you're interested in. So there's C2K webinar on post-primary using education that I'll be doing. As I was saying, I haven't finalised the topic of it yet. They want me to hone in on one feature, so I'm still deciding that. And then on the 5th of June, we're having a reference school event in my school in St. Patrick's Academy, Dungannon, if anybody's free and you're about and you want to come to it. So the register link is there and still fully deciding schedule, even though when you go into that register link, you'll see a semi-completed schedule. So loads happening in the GEG community. And is there any questions about that before we finish off? So who thinks they're going to go next year?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah,
definitely. Sinead, are you going to ask a question?
Or is that a virtual raise hand?
That's where you're going, Sinead.
That was just a wee virtual hand there, but that's okay. I'm definitely going to go. And because Nicole, I know she shared that there was nobody doing art. There was no art portal. So I think I'm actually going to try and organize and get a stand there. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm going to try and look into that. I'm excited because I haven't even thought of breaking out in England yet, so there's big opportunities there for me in my art portal to help children, especially when I saw that they had special educational needs on the agenda. So that's something that kids would really, benefit from. So thank you so much for doing this, guys.
We'll all be there to see you.
National, international, you'll open up a whole new network over there. It's immense. It's huge.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. That was great.
So thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you again soon. All the best now.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks very much.
I'll be hard.
No problem, Patrick. All the best. Thank you.